Hello friends, how are you? I hope you all are doing really great. So let's continue with our discussion on a chapter joint and byproduct. Joint and byproduct costing. Right? This is what we have been discussing. So before we start, what you people have to do is subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon so that you get all the notifications, and most importantly guys, share with maximum people, right? Because this is the actual educational revolution where we are moving towards providing the whole courses free of cost. Regular lectures where we are covering the concepts in depth, right? Not just the marathons or anything. We are going to cover everything. More than 100 hours course you are getting free of cost in Hindi, in English, and not for only one subject. You are getting it for costing, financial management, economics of finance. So all this you are getting absolutely free of cost. Your only investment is in the handbooks, right? See, everything cannot be provided free of cost, and we have that extra cost for the handbook. So handbooks are paid, but yes, the lectures are going to be absolutely free of cost for you people, right? And we are not going to remove these lectures from the YouTube even. Okay. So what we have been discussing about, we started with the joint costing. Now we were discussing about the methods of distribution of joint cost, right? We were discussing about the joint products. We were discussing about the joint products, right? In the joint products, we were discussing about the various methods of distribution of joint cost among the joint products. In the last lecture, we discussed about the sales value or the market value of output method. Now, in this lecture, we are going to start with a very similar kind of the method, that is final sales value of output method. Final sales value of output method. Right? So this is the first method for this lecture. Now, in the last lecture, when we discussed about the sales value or the market value of output method, what we discussed in that, we say that there is an input, right? And there is some joint cost incurred up to this split off point. Here we have a joint cost, right? This is our split off point. And at this split off point, we have got, say, three joint products, right? J1, J2 and J3. So these are the three joint products that we have got at the split off point. In that method, in the last lecture, what we discussed, we say that we are going to sell these products, J1, J2, J3, we are going to sell these products right at the split off point only. We are not doing any further processing or anything, right? What we are trying to do is that we are trying to sell these products at split off point. As and when we get these products, we go to the market, we try to sell these products at split off point, and whatever is the value that we will be getting, that is my sales value or market value, right? Now, when we are talking about this method, final sales value of output method, we say that, okay, we have got three products, J1, J2, J3 at split off point, but these products might need the further processing, and in case they need further processing, say J1 needs further processing, right? We are doing further processing of this product, we are doing further processing of this product, but this J3 does not require the further processing. J3 can be sold as such as received at the split off point, but J1 and J2, they need further processing. They will not have the ready available market if they are not further processed, right? So if you are doing the further processing, obviously it is a cost for you. Here also you have incurred some cost. This further processing is also some cost, right? After further processing, what you will get is, you will get total cost, right? You will get total cost. Here it will remain the same in case of J3. Now, To this cost, obviously you will add some profit also. To this cost, you will add some profit also. Yes, sir. Obviously, we are not going to sell the products at cost only. We'll be adding some profit. After profit, what you will get is, sales value. Right? This is known as final sales value. The sales value after adding the further processing cost. Now this is known as, this is what we call it as final sales value. Final sales value. Right? That means what we are doing in this method is we are not selling the product at split off point. Right? We are not selling the product at split off point, but we are doing the further processing of that product. After adding the further processing cost, what we get is total cost, and to that total cost we will add the profit and get the final sales value. Right? Now whatever is the joint cost incurred, it will be apportioned in this ratio between the various joint products. Whatever is the joint cost incurred, it will be apportioned in the ratio of the sales final sales value, I will say, according to this third method, that is the final sales value of output method. Clear? So first thing that you require to know was what is the final sales value, because in that ratio only we have to distribute the joint cost. Let's take an example. I'll take a simple example out of it. Say there are 4 joint products, right? I'll say A, B, C and D. So these are the 4 joint products. Okay. Output. You can write this down in your notebooks. Output is say 500, 200, 300 and 200. Right? Now I say selling price at split off point, selling price per unit at split off point. That if you go to the market to sell the product at the split off point only, there is no further processing, then what will be the price that you will be fetching? That is 100, 120, 80 and 200. Right? Selling price after further processing. After further processing. That if you are not selling the product at the split off point, but we are doing some further processing on that product. After further processing, if we go to the market and try to sell that product, then what is the price that we can fetch from there? 180, 200, 150 and not applicable. Why I'm writing not applicable? Because this means that D product can be sold at the split off point. We can sell this D product at split off point only. There is no requirement for the further processing of this product D. Right? There is no further processing required for this product D. Now, let me know what is the final sales value. If we talk about the final sales value, can you tell me what will be the final sales value in case of A? In case of A, the final sales value says whatever is the sales value after further processing. That means we are going to multiply this output with 180. That will give me the final sales value. The sales value after incurring the further processing cost. So this becomes comes to 90,000. In case of B, 200 multiplied by 200, that will give me 40,000. After that, 300 multiplied by 150, this will give me 45,000. Now, what about the case of D, sir? Sir, obviously we have to sell the product D also. We are not going to keep it in the godown. We will be selling the product D also, but in this case, what will be the final sales value? In this case, this is going to be the final sales value. Right? If the product does not require further processing, in that case, whatever is the sale value that we can fetch at the split off point for that particular product, that will be the final sales value. See, very simple. Try to understand the very simple thing that final sales value says that whatever is the price that you are going to fetch for that product in the market, whether you are selling it at split off point or further processing. Why are we doing the further processing cost? We do the further processing because for that product we might not have the ready market if we go and try to sell it at split off point, right? To make our product more valuable to the customer, we are doing the further processing. For some products it might not be required, that like this product D, it is already valuable for the customer that we can sell it at 200 only, right? So in this case the final sales value will be 40,000. Clear? Now say my joint cost say is rupees 1,07,500. Now you have to distribute this joint cost between A, B and C. What is the ratio that you are going to take? Very simple. The final sales value, that is 90 is to 40 is to 45 is to 40, right? So it will be distributed in which ratio? 90 is to 40 is to 45 is to 40. In this ratio you will distribute it, right? So we can write share in joint cost. Share in joint cost for each product, that will be 45,000, right? Then it is 20,000, 22,500 and 20,000. Do check the calculations once. I'm not checking the calculation, I have already done that. Okay, we'll check it. 45,000 plus 20,000 plus 22,500 plus 1 second. 45,000 is correct, plus 20,000 plus 22,500 plus 20,000. Yes, 1,07,500. So this is the distribution. Clear? Please write this example in your notebooks because this will help in the better clarity when you will be revising this concept. So this is about the third method, that is the final sales value of output method. See, I told you that all these methods are very simple. Whatever the methods of joint costing are, all these methods are very simple. Just the basic understanding is required, nothing else in these methods. Right? So I hope you all of you have written it, or you can pause the video here and write down the example. Now, we are moving on to the next method. Next method, almost we have already discussed in the byproduct also, that is net realizable value method. Net realizable value method, right? That is NRV. Now this NRV method says that you have to distribute the joint cost. That is what our main purpose of this chapter is, right? This method says that you will distribute the joint cost in the ratio of NRV. So first and the foremost thing is, sir, what is NRV? Net realizable value. The name itself says the net realizable value means what is the net amount that you are going to realize by selling your product, right? What is the net amount that you are going to realize by selling your product? So the NRV says what is your estimated final selling price? What is your estimated final sales value of output? Estimated final sales value of output, right? Now, if you can see here very carefully, what I have written is the estimated final sales value of output. That means I'm talking about the further processing, that whatever is the sales value we are going to fetch after the further processing of that output, right? What is the total value that you are expecting after doing the further processing and everything? What is the total value? What is the final value that you are expecting out of selling your product? Okay, but the net realizable value says what is the amount that you are going to pocket out of that, right? If you are going to get say 100 rupees, you are going to get by selling that product, in that your cost is also involved. So what I am going to do is, he says remove whatever is the further processing cost you have incurred. Whatever is the further processing cost you have incurred, right? Say I have incurred 10 rupees on that. Okay, removed, sir. After that, he says subtract the estimated. After you have done the further processing, obviously you will try to market your product, so you will subtract the estimated selling and distribution expenses. Selling and distribution expenses, say 10 rupees. So whatever the value you are going to get here, 80 rupees, this is my net realizable value. This is the value that I will pocket, right? Net realizable value from the final sales value of output. What is the estimated final sales value of output minus the further processing cost, whatever is the cost we have incurred on that particular product individually, right, after the split off point, minus the estimated and selling and distribution expenses of that particular product, will give me the net realizable value. Clear? A very simple method. There is no twist and turns in this. That is why I told you this is a very, very simple chapter. Joint and byproduct, a very, very, very simple chapter. Straightforward chapter, I will say. Okay. So these are the two methods. Now let's do a practical problem. Here, question number 4. Let's read. The Sunshine Oil Company purchases crude vegetable oil. It does refining of the same. The refining process results in the 4 products at split off point M, N, O and P. The product O is fully processed at split off point. That means this product O does not require any further processing. It is fully processed at split off point only. It can be sold in the market as such. It is a fully processed product. Whereas product M, N and P can be individually further refined into Super M, Super N and Super P. In the most recent month, the output at split off point was given. Now this is the output which is given at split off point, right? So this is the output at split off point. 3 lakh, 1 lakh, 50,000 and 50,000 for the respectively M, N, O and P. The joint cost of purchasing the crude vegetable oil and processing it were 40 lakh. Sunshine had no beginning and ending inventories. The sale of the product O in October were 20 lakh. Right now, this is the sale at split off point, because the question specifically says that product A is fully processed at split off point. That means we are not doing any further processing. This is the sales value at split off point for particular product. Clear? This is your joint cost. This 40 lakh is your joint cost. This is the sales value at split off point. This is sales value at split off point. Clear? Total output of the products M, N and P was further refined and then sold. Data related to October 1999 are as follows. Super M, Super N and Super P, that is we have further processed M, N and P. The further processing cost is given to you 80 lakh, 32 lakh and 36 lakh. What is the sales value? Now this is the final sales value. This is the final sales value after further processing. 1 crore, 20 lakhs, 40 lakh and 48 lakhs. Sunshine had the option of selling the products M and P at the split off point also. Now this Sunshine company had the option that not to further process these 3 products M, N and P, and they could have sold these products at split off point also, right? Now, if these products would have been sold at split off point, what is the sales value that these products would have fetched? 20 lakh, 12 lakh and 28 lakhs. Clear? This is the data given after further processing. This is at split off point. That if we are going to sell these products at split off point, product O is anyhow going to be sold at split off point. He says if M, N and P, if you sell these products at the split off point, this is the value that you will, this is the sales value that you will get at split off point. Clear? Now you are required to answer how the joint cost of 40 lakhs would be allocated between each product under each of the following methods, that is the sales value at split off point, physical output method, and the estimated net realizable value, right? So he's asking for the three different methods. One is the sales value at split off, another one is the physical output, and the third one is the estimated net realizable value. Clear? Let's do it. We'll look at the second part later on. So the first part we have to do it by three methods. Let's do it. Question number 4, right? First part. So first we'll be doing it by, one second. First we'll do it by which method? Sales value at split off point. Sales value at split off point. Right? What is the value of my joint cost? My joint cost is rupees 40 lakh. Now, I want to distribute this between the various products. Okay. So first I will say, what are the various products with me? What are the various products with me? What is their sales value at split off point? Right? And then I'll take share in joint cost. Share in joint cost. What are the products with me? The products are M, N, O, and P. Right? Can you tell me the sales value? Now we are talking about the sales value only at split off point, right? We are not talking about the sales value at this after further processing. What I am talking about is sales value at split off point. Okay. So be very careful which figure is to be taken. This is the sales value at split off point. Right? That means 20 lakh, 12 lakh. For O, it is 20 lakhs because anyhow it is the sales value at split off point. And for product B, it is 28 lakhs, right? So this is the value that we are going to take here. That is 20 lakh, then 12 lakh. After that, 20 lakh and 28 lakh. So total is how much? 80 lakhs. So now whatever is the joint cost is 40 lakh. The 40 lakh is to be distributed in this ratio. 20 is to 12 is to 20 is to 28. This is the ratio in which we will be distributing the joint cost of 40 lakh. Clear? So this value will come out to be 10 lakh, 6 lakh, 10 lakh, and 14 lakh. Total is 40 lakhs. So this is the first method, that is the sales value at split off point. Now, the second method that he is asking about is, first is done, sales value at split off. The second is the physical output method or the gallons method. The physical output is given as 3 lakh, 1 lakh, 50,000 and 50,000. So that means we will distribute again. Okay, B part is by physical output method. Physical output method. Again, we have products and we'll write the physical output, and share in joint cost. Okay, the products remain the same, M, N, O, and P. The physical output is given as 3 lakh, 1 lakh, 50,000 and 50,000. So total is 5 lakhs. Now the joint cost of 40 lakh is to be distributed in this ratio. 3 lakh is to 1 lakh is to 50,000 is to 50,000. Clear? Very simple, sir. Very simple sums. So this comes out to be 24 lakh. Right? Then you have 8 lakh. After that it is 4 lakh and 4 lakh. Total is 40 lakhs. Clear? This is the physical output method. Now the third method is net realizable value method. Right? The next last method for this is by net realizable value. Net realizable value method. Again, we'll have products. Now we'll have more number of columns, right? Estimated sales value, further processing cost, then we have NRV, that is the net realizable value, then share in joint cost, right? This is how the net realizable value, because there is no selling and distribution expenses. In case the selling and distribution expenses are given in the question, then we will have one more column alongside the further processing cost. We will have another column which says selling and distribution expenses. After that, the NRV. But selling and distribution expenses in this question are not given to us. So we'll simply say take estimated sales value, further processing cost, NRV, and the share in joint cost, right? Okay. So what are the products? Same, sir. M, N, O, and P. Right? What is the estimated sales value for M? If we talk about M, what is the estimated sales value now in this case? This is 1 crore 20 lakh, because now we are talking about the estimated final sales value after further processing, right? So it is going to be 1 crore 20 lakhs. For N, it is going to be 40 lakhs. And for P, it is 48 lakhs. Sir, what about the O? What about O? The O, we are not doing any further processing. That means the estimated final value of O will be what? The value at split off point. Simple. That is 20 lakh. So be careful with this value, because we don't have to miss this value. The final sales value means whatever is the price at which we are going to sell that product. The O is fully processed at split off point. That means whatever is the sales value of O at split off point, that will be my estimated sales value. Now, talking about the further processing cost, in case of M, we have done the further processing cost. How much? 80 lakhs. 80 lakhs of the further processing cost. In case of N, we have done it 32 lakhs. In case of O, there is no further processing cost, and in case of P, it is 36 lakh. So what is my NRV? NRV is estimated sales value minus further processing cost. This will give me 40 lakhs, right? This will give me 8 lakh. In this case, this is going to remain 20 lakh, and here you will have 12 lakh. So total is 80 lakhs. Now, whatever is the joint cost, that is 40 lakhs, it will be distributed in this ratio, in the ratio of the net realizable value. Now you can distribute it. What is going to be the share in this case? It is going to be 20 lakhs. Right after that, it is 4 lakh. Then I have 10 lakh and 6 lakhs. Total 40 lakhs. Clear? This is how the question of NRV is to be done. The estimated sales value minus the further processing cost will give you the net realizable value, and whatever is the joint cost, it will be distributed in the ratio of net realizable value. Clear? So we are done with the first part of this question. Let's read the second part. Could Sunshine have increased its October operating profit by making different decisions about the further refining of M, N or P? Show the effect of any change you recommend on the operating profits. Now what the second part is saying, that you have to identify that whether it is the right decision on the part of the company to further process M, N or P, or it is not. They see, the company has the option of selling the product at split off point also. So we need to find out whether the company should process that product and then sell it, or the company should sell this product at the split off point. Sir, why are we not talking about product O? Because the product O is anyhow we are selling at what? Selling at split off point only. The further processing part is only for M, N and P. right? So we are going to evaluate it, and we are going to write evaluation of further processing proposal. Evaluation of further processing proposal. Right? So we'll have products. Right? On one side we'll have the NRV, and at another we will have the sales value at split off point. Right? Then decision. Now, on what basis we are going to make our decision that, sir, whatever we are earning from that product, right? If we are going to do the further processing, then NRV is what we are going to get. If we are going to sell at split off point, then we have to see the sales value at split off point, right? So whatever we are going to fetch out of that product, we are going to base our decisions on that. Let's talk about the first product M. Now let's see what is the NRV of this product M. That is 40 lakhs. That means if you are going to further process M into super M, you will fetch 40 lakh rupees, right? And what is the sales value at split off point for this product? Sales value at split off point is 20 lakhs, right? So what is the benefit here? What is the benefit here? Whether the company should further process it or the company should sell it at split off point. Obviously, sir, the company should further process it because there is a benefit of 20 lakhs in that, right? If you further process it, you will get 40 lakh rupees. But if you do not process it and you sell it at split off point, you will get 20 lakh rupees. So what is the decision? Decision is further processing should be done, right? Okay, let's talk about the next process, that is N. Now, whenever we are talking about N, what is the NRV? 8 lakh. Right? That means if you further process it, you will get 8 lakh rupees. And what about the sales value at split off point? That is 12 lakh. Now tell me that the company should do the further processing or company should sell at split off point. Obviously, the further processing is going to fetch you less amount, that is 8 lakh rupees. And if you sell at the split off point, you will get 12 lakh rupees. So decision is no further processing. No. We should not be doing any further processing. Similarly, for P, in case of P, the NRV is 12 lakh, right? And sales value at split off point is 28 lakh. So this is a huge difference. Now, will you go with the further processing? Obviously no, because after further processing, we are going to fetch 12 lakh rupees. And if you sell at split off point, you are going to fetch 28 lakh rupees. So no further processing, no FPC. No further processing, right? Now, what is the extra profit that you could have earned if you are not doing the further processing, right? Extra profit. From M, are you going to earn some extra profit? No, sir. From N, you are going to earn 4 lakh rupees. And from P, you are going to earn 16 lakh rupees. So total of 20 lakh rupees extra profit this company could have earned if they have not further processed N and P, right? They should have sold N and P at the split off point and not further process it, because in that case it is a loss. So they could have earned 20 lakhs extra amount. Clear? This is what the requirement of the question was. So we are done with this question number 4. Right? We are done with this question number 4. Okay, so that's it for this lecture. We are not going to move further. We have done 2 methods in this, the final sales value of output method and the net realizable value method. Clear? What you people have to do is revise these methods. Everything is given in the handbooks also. Revise these methods, try to solve some questions from the handbook, right? And we will continue with this joint and byproduct. We are going to continue. We have I think 3 more methods which we have to cover. Right, so we'll continue in the next lecture, right? So see you guys in the next lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, keep studying, keep sharing. Thank you so much.